Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and or listening to the podcast, and welcome to my house. It's time for a special episode of ServiceNow Store highlights. This week it's going to be SSH version 08162024. We skipped an episode last week because ServiceNow released Xanadu and there was a lot of things to review. You can look here at the top. This episode has 957 applications, new, updated, downgraded, all the different categories you can see there on the screen. So this is actually a record for this show. Let me move my head out of the way and we'll just sort this little widget by the number of applications. You can see the next highest was 869. Now 957 wasn't just the Xanadu Store release, or what they're calling Store Release 1, Xanadu Store Release 1. It has 24 applications from this week and a handful of applications from the previous week that are non-ServiceNow Store apps, and we're going to show that here in a second. In fact, this episode is going to be going through the non-ServiceNow stuff so that we don't lose visibility into that, and then you can hop over to my blog to check out all of the ServiceNow stuff. We're going to cover it high level. It's just way too much stuff to cover in an episode, but you can see there the history. 957 is a new record. 869 was the last. I believe that was Store Release 2. No, actually, that would be Q2 Store Release is what that was. Store Release 2. Well, actually, maybe not. So this February one was the preview or the early release of Washington, D.C. And then when it actually released, I think in around the May. No, I still think that's actually Q3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is Store Release 1 for Washington, D.C. 869 is going to be the Q2 of 2024 release, and then 957 minus the 24 plus the other handful, it's over 900 applications that ServiceNow updated, released, all that good stuff in the Xanadu early access release. But let's take a look at how those numbers break down. This is what took me so long, basically 2 weeks, mostly a weekend, kind of going through all this stuff until my brain hurt. 170 compatibility updates. Now, with the compatibility updates this time, what I did was there are a lot of hidden, what they call hidden apps. They're not really hidden. They're in the sitemap. But they're about a hidden app or dependent apps, right? So if you think about a UI workspace, something built in UI Builder, if it has a component like a visual task board or a form or a header, sometimes those things can be in their own applications and they're brought along as dependencies. So there may have been a big update to Customer Service Management Workspace, or CSM, FSM, Configurable Workspace. I can't remember what it's called now. But then there may be a bunch of like tag-along applications, and that's what kind of ended up in this bucket of 170. It was basically there was no release notes, there was no updates. A lot of them said like NA, or if there was App Engine Studio, it was like look at the App Engine Studio release notes. So what I did with all those is I just called them compatibility updates, thinking that, hey, this is just making all these applications compatible with Xanadu. So that's where that came from and how I kind of categorized it this time. 155 fixes, right? So 155 fixes, that's a lot of fixes. 5 ghost applications, so 5 disappeared applications, and they could have been ServiceNow. In fact, it's small enough we could probably go look at it. Or it could have been non-ServiceNow applications. There were 222 applications that are probably worth highlighting. So, and that's ServiceNow included. We're not going to be able to go over that in this episode, so I'm going to filter out ServiceNow and just show you the non-ServiceNow things. But don't forget, you can go over to my blog, justin.house. Just type that in your browser, justin.house, and you can see a listing of all these. It's going to take me forever to make that blog post, but it's okay. 279 minor updates. These were either small things, small changes, not really fixes, but they weren't big enough to get to the level of a highlight. There were 64 new releases, so 64 new applications, mostly ServiceNow, some handful of non-ServiceNow ones, and 62, unfortunately, release notes fails. So despite the fact that I've been doing this show for 2 years, I'm actually seeing the release note fails trend down. That should be a good report to run. But with this release, I saw a much better effort from the ServiceNow team about including release notes. A lot of the release notes, I have a feeling, are going to get updated again with Store Release 2 because there was like hanging bullets of missing information. Sounds like maybe they just don't want to publish it yet. So, but for I didn't make those release notes fails. The release notes fails were truly nothing, either nothing or NA, or just it had nothing. Actually, the NAs were the compatibility ones, but it was just like, I don't know what happened here. It's not a dependent app. They just didn't put any release notes in here, so those got the release notes fails. All right, so let's hop into the episode. This is going to be the 816 episode. And like I said, I'm going to filter out ServiceNow for the purposes of this video or podcast that you're watching or listening to. So we'll filter out ServiceNow, and then we'll group by our categories. And now it looks kind of like a regular episode, right? Even though it's 2 weeks worth, it kind of looks like a regular episode. Well, we'll start at the top, compatibility updates. We had 2, Cyaware Threat Intelligence Exchange, CTIX, and Flashpoint Ignite for Vulnerability Response were our 2 compatibility updates, not related to, they're not ServiceNow apps. There were 5 fixes. We've got AMSUN On-Premise Confluence Pages 2KB, CrowdStrike Falcon Exposure Management for Vulnerability Response, New Lab and New Lab Notebook, and Return Center were all fixes. On the Ghost side of things, this is a disappearing app, and this is actually this week, is COZ Pro disappeared from the store. So that tells you there were more Ghost applications than that, so the rest of them were ServiceNow. We'll take a look at those here in a minute. Minor updates, 21 of them. I'm going to have to click on this because I only have 20 rows showing in this view. We'll just read through them real quick. Activity Stream Component from Tnon, Akamai Guardicore Segmentation, Amaze by Intellective, App Shell from Tnon, Button Component from, I think it's Tenon. Jake corrected me on that, I think in the comments, it's Tenon. Citrix IT Service Management Connector, CyberArk Secure Cloud Access On-Demand Workflow, Form Component from Tenon, List Component from Tenon, Logic Monitor CMDB Integration, Modal Component from Tenon, and Navigation Header Component. Scrolling down to the rest of the list of page 1, OpenIT License Analyzer, SAP Transport Integration, Savient Identity Governance, Side Modal Component from Tenon, Skybox CX1 CTI, T-Systems Connector, Vbrick Video, and XM Cyber VR Integration were page 1, and we should only have 1 on page 2. Yep, Zero Networks app for CMDB. So those were all our minor updates. Let's kill the filter here, minor update, and we'll get rid of this window here, and then we'll regroup by our category so we can continue with the episode. That was our minor updates. Did have still 9 release notes fails for the non-ServiceNow applications. Access Flow IGA, Form Component from Tenon, Less Filter Component from Tenon, Net Impact Contract Portfolio Manager, SACON Mobile, SmartLink MNT Service Spoke, SmartLink Translation Management System Spoke, Vulnerability Response Integration with Phosphorus, and Zebra MotionWorks Asset Management Connector. Whew. All were release notes fails, which leaves us with new releases and highlights. We'll cover the new releases first since they're the most fun. Let's go ahead and open up AlertOps. AlertOps is real-time alerting and incident management. Key features on this one, I'm going to read through just the very first part before the colon. Real-time notifications, bidirectional data synchronization, simple configuration, alert creation and incident updates, group synchronization, user synchronization through groups, user deletion synchronization, bulk group import, assignee and assignment group synchronization, and customization. Lots of words there, and there's lots of text if you're not watching and you're listening, so if you want to read more, you can go to the store, click on the app, and see a lot more. First screenshot for them is going to be the AlertOps schedules, looking pretty cool with the colors there. Next screenshot, on the left-hand side is ServiceNow Change Management Group. On the right-hand side is the AlertOps Groups and Schedules. Next screenshot is the ServiceNow AlertOps 2, which is a webhook configuration. So this is configuring the webhook for the integration. Next screenshot is an incident showing in the activity log, AlertOps alert created and an alert ID. Next screenshot is the AlertOps menu and the all menu. Next screenshot is the schedule we saw on the first screenshot, and that is what's new from AlertOps Inc. Our next new release, not from ServiceNow, is going to be COZ Pro. Oh, wait, that's the Ghost application. That's interesting. So maybe they repackaged this as a new version? Interesting. Okay, that threw me off. I didn't know that. The release notes are way down here for version 3. So this is not really a new release. This is kind of like a reissued release. All right, that's fine. Let's, that should be a highlight. So I'm going to update this one for this episode, the COZ Pro 2 highlights. It's not a new release, even though, and there's not a ghost either, since now we know where it ghosted itself to. Ghosted itself to technically a new GUID or a new GUID or a new sysid. which made it look new to my system that's crawling. So that's why I thought it was a new release. But technically that's a highlight. So our highlights now are 14. Let's just refresh. Did I put it in there? Yeah, I put it in there. So when we get to the highlights, we'll cover the Cause Pro. Now we're down to 4 new releases. Let's check out the second one from Kyndryl. Kyndryl Integration, MCMP Marketplace. Automate multi-cloud with Enterprise Marketplace. Key features: automates the provisioning of cloud resources and manages the entire order lifecycle. Change management control for cloud resource provisioning. Order lifecycle tracking with ServiceNow as an ITSM system. Updates to CMDB when a resource is provisioned or decommissioned. ServiceNow approval is also supported as part of the order approval process. Every failed order is tracked with an incident in ServiceNow. Visibility of cloud resource provisioning status on ServiceNow itself. And multi-quantity and various kind of cloud resources in a single order is supported. Screenshots for this one. First one's going to be the multi-cloud management configuration within ServiceNow. Second one is the Kyndryl Marketplace integration menu, or Modern Ops app integration menu on the all menu. Second screenshot is a request, and next screenshot is a requested item. Next screenshot is the configuration screenshot we saw at the beginning there. So that is what's new from the team at Kyndryl Inc. Let's go for new release number 3, not from ServiceNow. OT Management Mobile. Enable your technicians to go mobile using the power of the ServiceNow platform to increase productivity and boost employee satisfaction. Key features: mobile app launcher screen for incidents management, integrated with ServiceNow agent mobile application to track and manage OT incidents assigned to a user. Notifications upon assignment of an OT incident to a user. Ability to add comments, work notes, resolve, and close an incident. Ability to create incidents by scanning a barcode. And ability to fetch incident resolution information by automatically passing incident context to AI models trained with documents specific to the user's use cases. This add-on comes with the Tech Assist Store app. We do have some screenshots here, so we'll scroll on up. First screenshot is going to be the mobile view or homepage mobile view showing some OT incident or my OT incident. Second one is the OT incident record assigned to Sasanka Vepakoma. Third screenshot is the scanning a barcode, a QR code. And then we're back to the original first screenshot. So that is what's new from the team at Work4Flow. And we have one more new release. It's going to be Vbrick Video Integration with Employee Center Pro. Enhance employee experience with AI-powered video and Employee Center Pro. Key features, there's like a long summary description that looks like key features, but then down the key features on the section says, contains content provider records for publishing Vbrick content in Employee Center. If we scroll up for screenshots, there's just videos. I'm not going to click on a video because you're watching one or listening to a podcast, but that's what's new. So if you're interested, I would go check out the summary. Actually, let's just read those. Place video where it matters most, promote corporate messages, showcase company culture, create efficient HR processes, strengthen corporate identity, streamline onboarding, support learning and development, and simplify benefits enrollment, all while creating a better employee experience. So that's the marketing stuff there for the team at Vbrick Systems Inc. And that's our new releases, which leaves us with the highlights for this episode. Let's go ahead and knock those out. We got 14 of them. First up is going to be Athena, updated version 2. In this version, they have the Microsoft Azure OpenAI integration with Athena capabilities, ability to choose AI provider per application capability, and updated data privacy UI page. Next highlight is going to be CG4 asset tracking, updated to version 5.0.5, and in this version they included the ability to filter which records from related tables are available for filtering inside of reference fields on a per module basis, included ability to filter what values are available for use with choice type fields on a per module basis, improved out-of-the-box support for all workflows and tables included with HAM, enterprise hardware asset management, enterprise asset management, and all other standard tables extended from the asset table. They've also improved out-of-the-box support for all custom extended tables and workflows that you have created. Added some quality of life improvements to the finding conditions on CG4 audits. Added a dissection to audits that accounts for when a record is not initially expected at the start of the audit, but becomes expected during the course of the audit and is also found during the course of the audit. Added support for transfer orders. Update transfer orders with barcode scanning, RFID reading, and manual entry. Addressed an issue where CG4 transactions would rarely get stuck in an invalid status, and improved migration tool that allows the entire configuration of CG4 to be exported from one ServiceNow instance and imported to another. That's pretty cool. I like that last bullet. So that is what's new from the team at CG4 Asset Tracking. Next up on our list of highlights is going to be Checklist Pro. Checklist Pro updated version 3.1.2. In this version, there are new features and some bug fixes. On the new feature side, save checklist to PDF, save checklist to fillable PDF, and create checklist from fillable PDF. On the bug fixes side, ensure deletion of checklist configuration removes all related configuration records. And that's what's new from the team at Tiger LLC. Next up is going to be Checkmark CXSAST Vulnerability Integration, updated version 1.0.25. And in this version, Audit Trail API will be configurable in the configuration page. Exploitable path status for SCA finding can be mapped to AVIT table. Save and test credentials will validate the required permissions. Skipped scan ID due to any error will be logged to scan summary table. Report generation time and third integration will be reduced, and processing time for fixed vulnerability is also reduced. Next highlight is going to be the Cisco Partner Smart Bonding, updated version 2.0.10, and oh my goodness, there is a ton of new features, like a ton, and I can't even really summarize it. So I encourage you, if you're interested, oh my gosh, there's even more around the bugs. So this, everybody, is what release notes should look like. It's a great example of very thorough and well-documented release notes. So tons of new features, tons of bugs. This came out on August the 2nd. Again, it took me a while to process all these updates, so definitely check that out if you're interested in the Cisco Partner Smart Bonding. Sorry, Cisco team, for not reading through all those. It was just a lot, and I gotta save my voice. Next highlight is going to be Control Assurance, updated version 3.0.1. And in this version, they've enabled the Workspace UI for the Control Assurance application. It's a major release, everybody. The Control Assurance Workspace is an extension of the out-of-the-box Compliance Workspace. Next highlight is going to be that one that was a ghost application, COZ Pro. That's updated version 3.0. And in this one, they've enhanced functionality, including the introduction of an extensive library of model-specific EPDs using the available market plus manufacturer-provided data gives the highest level of accuracy. All carbon impact data is held in COZ Pro's cloud-based carbon rating engine and delivered by Secure API. Improved model identification, extension of asset type default, footprints to cover additional asset types, new Scope 3 CO2e write-down functionality by asset type and lifecycle stages, a 4-tier corporate structure with reporting access, reporting across all dashboards to deliver granular analysis by asset type, model, business entity, and location, visualization of glide path for carbon impact of lifetime Scope 2 and Scope 3 CO2e emissions, analysis of carbon impact data of all models installed across the entire IT estate, and COZ Compare provides the ability to compare a model against the 10 greenest market options based on 7 variables, and I won't read those variables to you. But that is what's new in the COZ Pro application that we thought was a ghost. Next highlight is going to be the Genesis Cloud Connector, updated version 1.1.0. In this, they have new features, support for HR service delivery module, ability to use multiple connector configurations for distinct groups of users, ability to perform a custom search on user records from the contact card and user table, and options to show up wrap notes on Genesis Interaction Disconnect. Next new release is going to be Intella, updated version 3.0.2, and it includes a redesigned jobs portal, new resume parsing functionality, and a new manager portal. Wow, major release, and they summed it up in one sentence. I love it. Looks good. Next new release is going to be Microsoft Entra Permissions Management, updated version 1.1.0. They've added support for the Washington DC release version, and the Show Flow and Flow Executions feature is now operational in the Washington DC version. Troubleshooting steps have been added to the configuration guide. Several error messages have been updated. Duplication of work notes has been removed. API response handling for various status codes has been improved, and a bug has been fixed that prevented users from selecting a frequency higher than the configured maximum, with the default frequency now updated from 4 to the maximum possible value. All right. Let's see, we've got a couple more left here. Privacy Hub by Rangu, updated version 7.0.0. It's another extensive update with lots and lots and lots of details. There's no chance I can even get through summarizing all this. So sorry, Rangu folks, sorry, Cisco. If you are interested in this application, go to the store, check out the release notes. They did a great job of being very detailed, very thorough, so thorough that Justin can't read through them like I do with the simpler ones. So definitely check out that new or that highlight, that new, not a new release, it's a highlights update to that application. Next up, Secure Onyx app for security incident response, updated version 1.8.0, and they've added parent-child relationship for Secure Onyx incident in ServiceNow parent security incident, resolved previous certification comments, added criticality mapping for violations, store policy name and threat model in Secure Onyx incident, and added Washington support for ServiceNow integration. Second to last one here is going to be the Tenon Marketing Work Management, updated version 4, and then this one they have notifications, forms, and lists. Updated notifications to allow for app mentions, updated forms to include a record watcher, and updated lists to enable inline and bulk editing. Last highlight for this episode is Janss's Jira integration framework, updated version 1.9.2, and in this one they added a configuration that allows task-based records associated to Jira to show a message at the top of the form with a link to the corresponding Jira issue. Added an async request action for edit issue metadata, ability to get a changelog by ID, added an edit metadata field to the Jira record linkage table, improved cloning support, ability to generate a status map from a JSON string, functions to import/export transition, UI action on an integration point to generate export of association rules, and association rules can now leverage integration point and project/issue type keys. Woo! That is our highlights for this episode. Now, I said I was going to show you the ghosted applications that were ServiceNow earlier in that episode, so let's go ahead and remove that filter for ServiceNow. Whoops, I screwed that up. It always puts that weird other filter in there. Okay, so there were total 5, and now we know the Cause Pro is actually not a ghosted application, but the ones from ServiceNow that disappeared were Financial Services Document Management, Health Mobile Experience, Predictive Metric Intelligence, and the RPA Sample Template. Let's just go, it's been a minute since I did them, so I'm just going to click on all 4, make sure they're still ghosted, and they are. All 4 of them are still disappeared or gone from the ServiceNow store. So that's our entire episode. Lots and lots of new, updated applications, especially from the ServiceNow team. Just to remind you, 63 new releases, 223 highlights, 170 compatibility updates, 279 minor updates, 5 ghost applications, 155 fixes, and 62 release notes fails. Before you stop watching the video, don't leave a comment, don't even subscribe. Go open a new tab, type in https://justin.house.Go to my blog. You're going to see a post for SSH v08162024. It will have all, 957 applications that are updated. So this is store release 1 for Xanadu from ServiceNow, plus all the non-ServiceNow stuff. It's going to be on my blog post. You can go there, you can Control F or Command F, search the page, see if you find an app that you're interested in, and it'll link directly to the store, so you don't have to go back to the store and find it. It'll take you there, you can look at the release notes. So much good stuff in this particular release for Xanadu. I'm looking forward to making some videos. I know I haven't made a lot for Washington, D.C., but hopefully things will get better for me here, and I'll have more time to crank out some videos for Xanadu. I hope you found this video or podcast helpful. If you did, please please subscribe after you come back from my blog post, and share it with somebody else who you think might be interested in what's new in Xanadu in the store, and what's new, what's updated, what's removed, what's downgraded in the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.